4.
5.
6.
Nursing, being a nurse is something that I love. I chose to be a nurse not just for a job but for a career. First, let's start off on how I became a nurse or how the journey started. A couple years ago, I was laid off and really just had nothing else to do with my time. So I chose to take this journey and get back into school and take all the classes and prerequisites needed to become a nurse. Not knowing that it was just going to be so complicated and hard to get in school. I thought it was just going to be, hey, you take the classes and we get into nursing school. Well, through the journey, I had a lot of good things happen and a lot of bad things happen. So I ended up doing what was required and taking the prerequisites and then applying. It was a lot of no's before I finally got some yeses. We applied and I got turned down a couple times. And then one school finally accepted me. So during that, it was really hard. So let's just talk about how nursing school goes. First you apply, and once you apply, you get in. But it's not that simple once you're there. Nowhere near as simple as it looks. It's a lot of long hours, hard, sleepless nights, and just a lot of controversy everywhere. A lot of controversy everywhere. But it was some good things that happened along the way. I met some people that I can consider my lifelong friends from that time, and me and my best friend are still friends. We made it together. What else? But let's just talk about some of the struggles. When you're a mother and a wife and have 3 kids, it's really hard to divide your time and separate your time and still be a wife and a mother and complete school. And school wasn't a 4-hour-a-day journey. It was more like 10 hours a day school, and the rest of your time you had home was studying, trying to make sure the kids were taken care of, and cooked, cleaned, and just everything else that came along with it. So that was just one of the hardest things, to be able to maintain your time and balance out life. It was really hard to keep a steady routine going. Second, was trying to just keep a level head and find time for yourself and just stay focused on the goal and know that this is something that you wanted to do and that it was my dream to always become a nurse. So I always have kept that in the back of my mind that, hey, this is what I wanted to do and I always wanted to be a nurse. So that kept me motivated a little bit, and then also having someone to do it with. My best friend also went to nursing school with me, so it was really easy to have someone who can relate to you on that same level, because everybody else not in your shoes, so they didn't really understand where I was coming from or how I felt at the time. And last, just getting ready for graduation was like the best time ever. The last semester, it was getting ready. I mean, what else can you say? Getting ready for take the state boards. That probably was like the scariest time ever. Not knowing if you're really going to be a nurse or not, because if you don't pass the state boards, you're not going to become a nurse. So I think that was probably the roughest year of my life so far that I have ever had to deal with, besides getting married. Second. But besides that, I can truly say that it has been a blessing. The pros outweighed the cons. And before I started, me and my friend, we found this website. It was allnurses.com. And for anybody who's thinking about going to nursing school, just go to allnurses.com, read the website, and see what you can get out of there, because you'll read some really good stories and some really bad stories, so you'll know what to expect and where we're going with it. Do anybody have any questions?
How long is nursing school?
How long? It depends. From the time your prereqs start until we finish school, it took us about 2 years, and I'm still currently taking classes now. So anywhere from 2 years to like 6 years.
How difficult was it to get in school, and was it financially feasible?
It was very difficult. Financially feasible, it depends on I would say the financial part, it depends on if you go to community college versus a university. A university is not really financially feasible if you have to work. A community college, you can probably pay like $4,000 to $10,000, books, everything included, to finish nursing school.
For the entire 2 years?
For the whole 2 years, but if you're at a university, it's gonna be double, triple probably, and I couldn't afford a university at that time, so I chose the community college route.
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it? I consider it to be worth it. In the long run, it was very hard to get to where I'm at, but now that I'm here, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love what I do, and I wouldn't take it back for nothing else.